Anthony Davis just destroyed the Atlanta Hawks. In tonight's game against the Hawks, the Dallas Mavericks were desperately looking for a win to end their losing streak, and they're currently sitting in the 9th seed, but a win would just solidify themselves as they're trying to make a push for the play-in, and then just see how far they can go in the playoffs. And in tonight's game, we finally got the return of Derrick Lively, but like Daniel Gafford and Anthony Davis coming back from injury, he was on a minutes restrictions only between 10 to 15 minutes, but in that small role, Derrick Lively looked like he did not miss a beat at all. But tonight's game belongs to Anthony Davis, who showed us that even though he's played the number 2 in LA, he could easily be the number 1 here in Dallas, putting on a monster performance, breaking records, just making a historical night, icing the game with a game-winning shot, and also defending Trae Young as they were also trying to win the game as it was a very, very close score. So in this video, we're going to go over the entire game, go over the box score, what looked good, what looked bad, and of course, who stood on business. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 20,188 subscribers. I just want to say thank you so much for the love. I definitely feel it. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related with our live streams, our watch longs, news vids, and everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But tonight's game was very big for the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said, we're on a losing streak. We're the 9th seed. No way, shape, or form is this team trying to tank, although a lot of people would argue that would be the better route. There's a lot of people who say they should just tank. Rest the bigs. Don't risk further injury. Try to get a good draft pick. Try to get a good lottery pick, and just try again next year. And those people that are team tank, yes, I understand where you're coming from. It's been a very tumultuous season with injuries, guys in and out the lineup. Even tonight, PJ Washington was out due to illness as everyone's been sick all season. But the Dallas Mavericks are no quitters. Yes, a year or two ago, we did tank for Derrick Lively, but that's not the case anymore. We have a very solid team. If this team is fully healthy, they are a very, very tough team to beat, and they proved that tonight, although they still weren't fully healthy. Anthony Davis just came back from injury. This is his 5th or 6th game. This is Daniel Gafford's 2nd game, Derrick Lively's 1st game, and the team looked great. And in the first quarter, Anthony Davis was looking like a complete monster. The offense was phenomenal all game. The defense from this Dallas Mavericks team was very, very frustrating. We saw in the game just the other day against the Brooklyn Nets, the 3-ball just seems to just rain on us from our opponents. But tonight's game, it didn't really fall that bad, but it was a high-scoring game for the first half and not a lot of defense being played, at least not a lot of effective defense. But in that first quarter, Anthony Davis was just completely unstoppable until he was stopped by a flying elbow from Daniel Gafford, a little bit of friendly fire. It was a pretty deep cut below his eyebrow, and he had to get stitches. Came back with a Band-Aid in the second half when we were down by a lot. We were trying to crawl or scratch and climb our way back from that deficit, but as soon as Anthony Davis came back, the wrong had been right. Anthony Davis was everywhere. He was hitting threes. He was hitting his free throws, attacking the basket. Him and Gafford have this weird pick and roll combo which looks to be unstoppable. They did it against the Nets. They did it again tonight. Anthony Davis was him. He was looking like a number 1 option. Yes, he was a number 2 option in LA. You could argue he may even be the number 2 option when Kyrie comes back. But tonight, Anthony Davis reminded everybody exactly who he was. In that Houston game, in his debut, even though he only played about 2.5 quarters, I'd argue that this game was even better than that game. And on top of Anthony Davis looking good, other players stepped up too. Klay Thompson hit an amazing 3 to tie the game after Spencer Dinwiddie had some boneheaded plays where he missed 2 shots back-to-back and allowed the Hawks to come back. So shout out to Klay Thompson for hitting his shots while also playing great defense on the other end. We also had Caleb Martin, who I really haven't been that high on until tonight, where I understand Caleb Martin's been injured. But tonight, I'm really starting to see exactly why we have this player, as his defense is amazing. Last year, we had Josh Green, who I dubbed the hustle man. But this year, and going forward, the hustle man is Caleb Martin, just flying everywhere, playing defense, scrappy defense. We could put Caleb Martin on the other team's best player, and we'll be okay. As just being a pest and just being that tenacious on defense is going to pay dividends for this team if and when we make the playoffs. And everyone else also contributed. You had Max Christie off the bench hitting shots. Jaden Hardy, I got to give him credit where credit is due. A lot of times I want him gone, but when the Hardy party is on, the Hardy party must go on. It seems like every bad possession, he'll make it up down the stretch with a good one, with a couple made threes. Najee Marshall with his playmaking, Spencer Dinwiddie with his playmaking as well. Everybody looked great. If we take a look at the box score right here, Anthony Davis had 34 points, 5 blocks, 1 steal, 2 assists, 15 rebounds. He shot 4-4 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, and 14 of 23 from the floor. Absolutely amazing. A lot of times this entire season, we are horrible on the last possession inbounds play where we're tied up or it's close, we need a bucket. But tonight's game, we went to Anthony Davis and he hit the game-winning shot. And not only that, there was still time on the clock for the Hawks to try to win or tie on the other end. And we put Anthony Davis on Trae Young, their best shooter. But he didn't look that good against Anthony Davis. The offense and the defense spoke for itself, and it led to a major win, all thanks to Anthony Marshawn Davis. We had Najee Marshall with 6 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. Derrick Lively, in only 16 minutes, had 4 points, 1 block, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie had 14 points, 2 steals, 10 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Klay Thompson had 17 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. Off the bench, Kai Jones only had 2 points, and that's only because Kai Jones only played 2 minutes. With Derrick Lively and with Daniel Gafford coming back, Kai Jones has really been pushed to the end of the bench, although I understand is most likely to get Gafford and Lively more minutes, more run, get them more acclimated to everything now that they're back from injury, and down the stretch, whenever we need Kai Jones, he will be ready. Caleb Martin, again, had a great game in my opinion, was looking like our best defender aside from Anthony Davis, was everywhere tonight. Had 8 points, he had 2 steals, 1 assist, 1 rebound, he shot 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from 3, and 2 of 4 from the field. Daniel Gafford had 11 points, got into some foul trouble, he had 5 fouls, but he had 1 block and 6 rebounds. Max Christie off the bench had 11 points and 3 rebounds, and Jaden Hardy had 13 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. The Dallas Mavericks, they did their thing. Again, we were losing for the majority of this game. Things looked bad, especially once when Anthony Davis went out. We really didn't have that much going on our offense as well as our defense just completely fell apart. But once when AD came back, everything changed. It changed everything. And that's the reason why the Dallas Mavericks won. But I think it's very obvious tonight who stood on business. I think it's fair to say that that player is Anthony Marshawn Davis. Had 34 points, 5 blocks, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 15 rebounds while on a minutes restriction coming back from injury. Yes, it's the Atlanta Hawks. They're not that good. They've never really been that good. But this is still a huge performance from Anthony Davis, which means a lot for the Dallas Mavericks team. As we have 2 big games coming up on Friday and Saturday, we're playing the Los Angeles Clippers back-to-back. They're looking pretty good. Kawhi Leonard's back. Anthony Davis will be needed for those games, and I hope there's enough time between now and then for him to get his rest. But to put some things into perspective, like I said, Anthony Davis tonight, 34 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 assists, 14 of 23 from the field, and 2 of 4 from 3. Vintage AD hoops. The man was breaking records, setting records, making history. But more specifically, Anthony Davis led the Mavs versus Atlanta with 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks. His 20th career game with 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 5-plus blocks. AD joined Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson, and Bob McAdoo as only players with 20 or more 30, 10, and 5 games. He is still not 100%. He's still working his way back. He just got traded here. He's still got time to gel and learn this team, and there's no Kyrie, and Anthony Davis is doing this. For anybody that thought AD was a bum, for anybody that thought AD was not going to be a good player for the Mavericks, you were sorely wrong. Completely wrong. Anthony Davis is a champion. He is a professional. He's a veteran in this NBA, in this league. He's been around for a while. He's no scrub. He is everything and more, and he's showing it, and he's going to continue to show it on a nightly basis. I believe that. But just to continue this from here, also, Dinwiddie had a very good night. Dinwiddie versus Atlanta, tonight he had 10 assists, 14 points, and 2 steals. He also has more wins versus the Hawks than any other team, which is a very interesting stat. Not only did Anthony Davis really destroy the Hawks, apparently we had the Hawks destroyer on our side the whole time with Spencer Dinwiddie. But the last thing that I want to show you guys this right here, Anthony Davis is now tied for the most 30-point, 15 rebound, and 5 block games in Dallas Mavericks history. AD has only played 6 total games in Dallas. The future looks bright for the Dallas Mavericks. I know it's hard to see as we're the 9th seed. We're in the play-in tournament. Guys are injured. We don't have Kyrie for a full year. But I promise you, things aren't as bad as they seem. Time will only tell, but time is exactly what we need. We need time for the guys to get healthy. We need time for this team to gel, learn each other, learn to play with each other a lot better. I know how people feel about Nico. The only thing I really hope is Nico keeps this team together. No more trades. No more getting rid of key essential players. If they're at the end of the bench, sure, do what you need. But but keep the main core together for long term, for as long as you can, because the longer they play together, the better they're going to be. The fact that we beat the Hawks, yes, they're not a good team, but we were losing for the majority of this game. But the fact that we came back and won on the back of Anthony Davis while he's coming back from injury, just imagine what this team looks like when everyone's healthy, when Kyrie's back, when guys are really in their roles, feeling more confident, when Max Christie is more efficient, when guys are playing better defense. The Dallas Mavericks have a really good future, but only time will tell. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that this was an amazing performance, or you think this is nothing because it was the Hawks and they're trash? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and we can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, drink water. Peace.